Hello and welcome to Fred's Kitchen, and today I will be doing a bitter melon and pink salmon stew, which I'm also going to put pumpkin, and I'm going to squeeze coconut milk in it. So this is our bitter melon, a larger version of the Surshi, or in St. Vincent we call it Karela. So we're going to cut and we're going to take out the seeds. So back in St. Vincent, what we used to do, we would boil it. Sometimes we boil it twice to get rid of the bitterness, or most of it. But what I do here now, what I will do, I will at least boil it once and put a little sugar to help cut that bitterness as much as possible. And the best thing to do is not to cover the saucepan while it's boiling, because it retains the bitterness. And I realized that when they're green like this, just as you picked it off of the vine, you get that really bitter taste. But if you put it down for like a couple of days and then you go back to use it, it's not that bitter at all. And I actually grow this in my backyard, and it's really nice. You can do it with the pink salmon, or you can do it with chicken, you can do it with fish. I did it with saltfish already and it was really great. I also did it already with the pink salmon, but without the coconut milk. So today we're going to make that stew, and we're going to add coconut milk to it and let it boil and let it boil down. But why, like I was saying, we're going to put it to boil with a little sugar. This is what the ripe seeds look like when it's ready to ripe. But you can see the outside is still green, but it is full and ready to ripe. So we're just going to remove these seeds, and we're going to boil. We're going to cut them up, cut them smaller, slice them, and then we're going to let that boil for about 6 to 7 minutes. Then we're going to change that water, and then we're going to boil it a second time again for roughly around the same time to get rid of most of that bitterness. But if you like it bitter, you can boil it once without the sugar, and remember not to cover the saucepan, not to cover your pot. It tastes really great once it's cooked properly and done right. And what you can do, you can also fry it. Fry up some onion, chive, sweet pepper, garlic, and fry it up nicely, and have it as a side dish. But with mine today, I'm gonna cook some black-eyed pea rice and use this as a stew. This is my coconut that I already grate, and it is frozen, because sometimes when I have a lot of coconut, I will crack them open, I will grate them, and I'll put them in the freezer. So when I'm ready, I will just take out some to use, because if it stays like this for too long, the water dries out and then it starts to give a different smell. When the seeds look like this, I believe some people just cut up everything and just cook it, but I remove my seeds. So we're just going to rinse these and come back. So I'm just going to slice a couple so you can see how I slice them. And then we're going to put it to boil for about 7 minutes with a little sugar. Then we're going to drain that water, and then we're going to put it back to boil again for another 7 minutes. And you can use your cutting board if you like. Sometimes I just prefer to cut stuff with my hand instead of using a cutting board. Depends on what I'm cutting. So I'm just going to cut one of the greener ones. And you can also do it like this and put it in the freezer. Freeze it until you're ready to use it. You can also boil it first and then put it in the freezer. So I will just cut up the rest, and we're going to put it to boil, like I said, with a little sugar. And then we're going to cut up our pumpkin so that when the second boiling is finished, we can add our pumpkin. And we can add our coconut milk. So let it boil for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we're going to add our pink salmon. Hi guys, our second boil is finished. So here we have our pink salmon, our coconut milk, our bitter melon, our pumpkin, onion, sweet pepper, chive, and garlic. So we're gonna add a little spread to our pot so that we can saute our onions. So like I said, depends on how you will like your bitter melon. You can boil it once or you can boil it twice. Depends on how you like your bitterness. This that I boil it twice, and it's slightly bitter, but that's just fine. So we're gonna add our spread. Just gonna add a little more. Gonna add our onions, our sweet pepper, garlic, and our chive. We're gonna add all together. Give that a stir. We're gonna add a little oil. There we go. Roughly from a tablespoon of oil. So we can get these our onions and sweet pepper cooked lightly. And remember, you want your heat on a low to medium heat, not too high, not too low. Stir occasionally. To this, we're going to add some margarine, about a tablespoon. Oregano, same amount, tablespoon. Some thyme, 1 tablespoon. I'm going to give this a stir. You can smell that sweet aroma from our onions and our garlic, our thyme, sweet pepper. Now we're going to add a little black pepper. roughly 1 teaspoon. Some curry, 1 teaspoon. I'm going to give it a stir. To this we're going to add 1 teaspoon all-purpose seasoning. When you've been cooking a long time, you get to average without actually measuring. 1 teaspoon seasoning salt. I'm going to stir this again. And to this we're going to add our bitter melon. Stir it up. And with this as it is, you can eat it just like this. I'm going to turn up our heat a little. So we're going to give this at least 2 minutes to simmer. And then we're going to add our coconut milk and our pumpkin. The last thing we're going to add will be our salmon. Alright guys, we're going to add our coconut milk now. Give it a stir. We're going to add our pumpkin. This is about 2 cups of pumpkin. If you like, you can cut it smaller. And like I said, we're going to let this boil for 5 minutes. And then we're going to come back and we're going to flavor it. And then we're going to add our salmon. So we're going to cover this and let it boil for about 5 minutes. And then we're going to come back and add our salmon. Alright, here guys, I have just about 1 cup of vegetable broth that I'm going to add. We're just going to add a half. Give it another 2 minutes to boil up so that the pumpkin can cook. We're going to flavor as well. Roughly around 1 teaspoon salt. And being that we had added the coconut milk, we're going to add some more seasoning salt and all-purpose seasoning. There's 1.5 teaspoons and 1 teaspoon here. So we're going to stir it up. Let it boil for another 2-3 minutes, and then we're going to add our salmon. Alright guys, we're going to add our salmon. Look at that. This looks so great. This looks so awesome. So we're going to add our salmon. We're going to give it a stir. Yum. This smells so good. Especially with that coconut milk. The aroma is so fantastic. Alright, so we're gonna leave this to boil down. Not all the way down, but for another 5 to 6 minutes, and then I'm gonna show you what it looks like. And remember, I said that I was cooking some black eyed peas with rice, so when everything is finished, I'll plate and you will get the results. Alright guys, our stew is finished. Look at that. Doesn't it look delicious? Yum. So here we have our black eyed peas and rice. So we're just going to put some of our stew alongside of it. Yum. And there we have it guys, our bitter melon and salmon stew, black eyed pea and rice. So I hope that you will enjoy, and please remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. You can give it a try and leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.